Yeah, good morning, students. Let us start the module 2, junction field effect transistor. Junction field effect transistor. Each word we'll come to know it in the later classes. We know what is a transistor. Before going to the transistor, I would like to remind you what is a diode. Diode is a two-layer single junction device. Two layer. One is P, another one is N. There are two layers. If there are two layers, there will be a one junction. Two layer, two terminal, single junction device. A bipolar junction transistor, BJ. Sorry, a junction field effect transistor. Junction. If two layers meet, there will be a junction in between two. If these are the two layers, here there will be a junction. Here there will be a junction. Field, electric field. Because of that electric field, there will be a current flowing in the transistor. That transistor, it is a transistor. A diode is a two-layer device. A transistor, a bipolar junction transistor was a three-layer. Now this is the field effect transistor, junction field effect transistor. As we go on, you will come to know complete details about this junction field effect transistor. Main application of the diode is to use it as a switch, on and off. Simple application of the transistor is also switch. The junction field effect transistor main and simple application is also switch. But compared to a BJT, bipolar junction transistor, JFET or field effect transistor is a little bit faster. The switching time is fast. Here in the last paragraph, field effect transistors offer many attractive features for applications in analog switching, microwave applications, and integrated circuits. In the integrated circuits, FETs are preferred over BGTs. FETs are unipolar devices. What do you mean by unipolar devices? Uni means single polar devices. That means the current in the FET is due to one polarity carriers. That means the current in FET is either due to electrons or due to holes. I repeat, in FET, the current flowing through the FET is due to either electrons or holes, but not by both. But in the bipolar junction transistor, current conduction is due to both electrons and holes. So FET, remember, it is a unipolar device. That means current is only due to either electrons or holes. They do not suffer from minority carrier storage effects. I will not go in depth of this, and consequently have higher switching speeds. The switching speed of FET compared to BJT is more. Switching speed. Faster, at a faster rate, you can switch on and off. Now let us come to the definition of the FET. In simple words, we can say a field effect transistor. FET is a three-terminal sorry, because of lot of internet issues, it is disconnecting. In spite of that, I'll try to make you understand. A FET is a three terminal. The source, this is source, this is drain, this is gate. A three-terminal unipolar. Just now I said the current is due to either electrons or holes, a semiconductor device in which current conduction is by one type of carrier, either electrons or holes. A field effect transistor is a three-terminal unipolar semiconductor device. Three-terminal unipolar semiconductor device. Also, you have studied the BJT in your PUC, emitter, base, collector. Bipolar junction transistor. Already you are well aware with this. In the other modules, I will try to explain once again what is a BJT. It is also a three-terminal bipolar junction device. FET is a unipolar junction device. This is a bipolar junction device. What is the main difference between the BJT and the FET? BJT is bipolar, FET is unipolar. The other main difference is BJT is current controlled device. Remember, BJT is a current controlled device. What do you mean by current controlled device? Output is collector current in BJT. This is controlled by the base current IB. Output current is controlled by the input current. So BJT is called as current controlled device. Whereas FET is a voltage controlled device. FET is voltage controlled device. What do you mean by voltage controlled device? The output current ID is controlled by the input voltage VGS. Sorry, here there is a printing mistake. This is not control current. This is control voltage. Voltage controls the output current. The printer has just copied the same thing here. IB is the control current. VGS is the control voltage. Control voltage. So control voltage, the voltage controls the output current. So this is voltage controlled device. FET is a voltage controlled device. BJT is a current controlled device. The main difference, BJT is current controlled, FET is voltage controlled. Why? Because the output current is controlled by input voltage. BJT is current controlled, collector current is controlled by base current. BJT is bipolar, FET is unipolar. This is a little bit introduction to the FET. Let us see the classification of field effect transistors. Classification of field effect transistor. The FETs can be classified once again. I apologize for the low network. I don't know why participants are very less today. 44 participants. Yeah, I was speaking about the classification of field effect transistors. They are classified into two types. The first one is junction field effect transistors, JFET. J stands for junction field effect transistor. Another major type of FETs are metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. In short, MOSFETs. So FETs can be classified as JFETs and MOSFETs. Majorly JFET and MOSFET. Initially, we will study JFET. In the later classes, we'll study MOSFET. MOSFET is nothing but metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. FETs are classified into JFETs and MOSFETs. In turn, JFET and MOSFETs, JFET is classified into N-channel JFET, P-channel JFET. N-channel JFET, P-channel JFET. These are the symbols of N-channel and P-channel JFETs. Three terminals of the JFET are source, this is drain, this is gate. Source, drain, gate. Here, this is N channel. If you observe the arrow direction, arrowhead is always inwards for the N channel. N channel. Arrowhead is always outwards in the P channel. This is P channel. This is P channel. This is outwards. N channel JFET, P channel JFET. Observe the symbol. There are three terminals: source, drain, gate. MOSFETs once again are classified into two types: depletion type MOSFET, enhancement type MOSFET. In detail, we will study in the later classes what is depletion type MOSFET, what is enhancement type MOSFET. In turn, depletion and enhancement type MOSFETs are classified into N-channel depletion type MOSFET, P-channel depletion type MOSFET, N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, P-channel enhancement type MOSFET. These are the symbols of the depletion type and enhancement type MOSFETs. In detail, I will explain you in the later classes. Same terminals: source, drain, gate. N-channel, arrowhead inwards, arrowhead inwards, arrowhead outwards for the P-channel. So what you should understand from this is FETs are classified into JFET and MOSFET. JFET, once again, N-channel, P-channel. MOSFET, two types, enhancement and depletion. In turn, there are N-channel and P-channel. N-channel FETs are very popular. I will keep explaining only N-channel FET. At the end of the session, I will make you to understand what is the difference between N-channel and the P-channel. Very small difference, very small difference. So preferably always understand N-channel. Even in the exam, if they ask you to explain some depletion type MOSFET, write N-channel only. If they specifically ask you to write P-channel, then only write P-channel. Unless otherwise specified, always we will be speaking about N-channel only. Very popular, very widely used N-channel. If it is specifically asked, write a P-channel JFET, write a P-channel MOSFET, then only write P-channel. Otherwise, by default, always N-channel. I think it's clear. Now we will start with JFET. Any device, always we should understand its construction. Now JFET, let us see construction. This is N-channel JFET. This is P-channel JFET. As I told you, I will explain N-channel JFET in detail and the difference between N-channel and P-channel. Why this is called as N-channel JFET? This is here, see, in between two P region, there is a channel. There is a channel. That channel is nothing but N-type semiconductor. So this is called as N-channel JFET. A JFET consists of, a N-channel JFET consists of a N-channel One of the end of this N channel is called as terminal source, source terminal S. Opposite terminal is called as drain. This is an N channel. Usually the bottom end we call it as a source. The upper end we call it as a drain. On either side of this channel, there are two P regions. There are two P regions which are internally shorted. Which are internally shorted. You can see the internal short, and we call this region as gate. So there are three terminals: source, drain, gate. Source and drain are nothing but the opposite ends of the channel. On either side of the channel, opposite regions are there. If N channel, P regions are there. They're internally shorted here, and we call this terminal as gate. This is a semiconductor, N-type semiconductor. This is P-type semiconductor. We want to take the terminals out of this semiconductor. So we will have ohmic contact or metallic contact. Here there is a metallic contact. Here there is a metallic contact. We will pull a metallic lead and we call this as some terminal S, another terminal D. Then for the gate, here is a metallic terminal, ohmic contact. Here is a metallic contact. So from there we will pull out a metallic lead and we call it as gate region. So this is P region, this is N region. Then what about this some black region between P and N? There is some black region. It is called as depletion region. The meaning of depletion means it is emptied. This region is emptied of the carriers. Here are N channel, P channel. In the N channel, electrons are the majority carriers. In the P channel, holes are the majority carriers. When you make it a junction, PN junction, for a small moment of time, there will be exchange of carriers. After that, in between this P and N region, there is a region which is depleted of mobile carriers, The mobile carriers will get emptied here. So this region is called as depletion region. Between PN junction, there is a depletion region. I think this is clear. If it's not clear, I will explain once again. N channel, always there will be N channel on either side, gate of opposite region. So N channel, P channel gates are there. They are internally shorted. To take out a lead, always we need ohmic contact. Always we need a ohmic contact or a metallic contact. Then how to write a P-type region? Just always understand only N-type region. Don't work out the P-type region. How to write a P-type or P-channel JFET? Interchange N with P, P with N. In place of N, write P. In place of P, write N. See here? Earlier it was N channel, now it is P channel. Here gate regions were P, now gate regions are N. Same source terminal, same drain terminal, same gate terminal. Same ohmic contacts. So this is P channel. So always I will concentrate on N channel. So the difference is replace N with P and P with N. You will get a P channel. So if nothing is asked, if they ask you to write the construction of a JFET, write N channel. If they preferably ask you write a neat diagram of P channel JFET, then only you write this. I think this is clear. Then coming to the operation, that was the construction what we just saw, the operation. So as I told you, this is a voltage control device. So voltage is applied between gate and the source, Here is the drain, here is the source. If you can't understand what is source, what is drain, what is gate, just imagine the tap in your bathroom. A tap in a bathroom. Below that tap, there will be a sink. That will sink the water. So drain, here is an overhead tank. From the overhead tank, the water comes through the tap, nozzle, drain, and it sinks, it goes through the sink goes down to the ground. How to control this flow of water? In the tap, you have a knob. You can control the pressure of that water flow. Here, you can control that the current amount of the current using the gate. By varying the amount of the voltage applied between the gate and the source, you can control the current from drain to the source. Once again, assume the drain is your overhead tank, the source is your sink, the tap knob is your gate. If you try to control the water flow from the overhead tank to the sink, you can control it by your tap. If you can control the tap knob, definitely the water flow changes. Here, the amount of the current can be controlled by applying the voltage applied between the gate and the source. So it is called as voltage control device. So whenever you get an FET, just imagine there is a water in the overhead tank drain. There is a sink below the tap. The tap is used to turn on and turn off and also to control the force of the water. While washing your hands, the water flow will be very less. Whenever you are taking the bath, you want very high pressure water. So everything will be controlled by the tap knob. That is nothing but the gate. I think it is understood now. This is tap, this is overhead tank, this is the sink. The current flow is nothing but your water flow. Now coming to the operation of the JFET. Operation of the JFET. The operation of the JFET can be understood in two cases. Case one, always we will make VGS is equal to 0. V stands for voltage. The subscript G and S stands for the terminal, gate, source. So this is nothing but the gate to source voltage. Make VGS is equal to 0. What is this VGS is equal to 0? Here is G, here is S, here is the voltage applied between the gate and the source. Here is the voltage applied between gate and the source. VGS is equal to 0. That means keep the voltage of this source equal to 0, or else don't apply that shit. Don't apply. If you remove this voltage source, it is nothing but you are not applying any voltage, so it is 0. Here, you can see the diagram here. There is no power supply connected. If at all, if you want to show the power supply, make it VGS is equal to 0. Another case, we will apply some negative voltage. Later I will tell you what the case 2. Let us try to understand. Case number 1, no voltage, no gate to source voltage is applied. Case 1, when VGS is equal to 0, VDS is increased from 0. Here is a voltage source which is VGS is equal to 0. One more voltage source you can see here, it is VDS. Voltage source connected between the drain and the source. Voltage source connected between the drain and the source, VDS. We need some voltage. VDS is increased from 0. Some positive voltage is applied. So here VDS is there. VDS is the voltage between drain and source. VGS is equal to 0. Concentrate. Here there is a N channel. Here there is a N channel. You know that in the N channel, electrons are the majority carriers. We have connected a voltage source in these polarities. Here is positive, here is negative. This negative terminal of the battery is connected to the source always in the N channel. Positive terminal of the battery is connected to the P channel. You know that electrons are the majority carriers. The charge of an electron, polarity of the electron is negative. And also you know the rule that like poles repel each other and like poles attract each other. Assume there are electrons here at the bottom near the source. Electrons, the negatively charged particles, gets repelled by the negative terminal of the battery. Here is the negative terminal of the battery. They will repel. If they repel, in which direction they will move? They will move upwards. They will move towards the drain. Then the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the drain. Positive terminal of the battery is connected to the same n-channel drain. Here also electrons are there. The polarity of the electron is negative. Positive terminal is connected to the drain. Now these electrons are getting attracted by this positive terminal of the battery. If you apply VDS like this, the electrons here near the source are getting repelled. The electrons near the drain are getting attracted. So here see electron direction, electrons are getting moved from source to the drain, from source to the drain. This is electron flow direction. What will be the direction of the conventional current? Conventional current is always opposite to the flow of electrons. Conventional current direction is always opposite to the flow of electron direction. Electrons are moving from source to the drain in n-channel JFET, but the conventional current always flows in the opposite direction, that is from drain to the source. So I said drain is nothing but overhead tank. S is nothing but sink. So always water flows from overhead tank to the sink. This is the current. This is the current. But electron current is just opposite to the conventional current. So this shows electron current. This is the conventional current. That means when you don't apply any control voltage, VGS is equal to 0. If you go on increasing the VDS, VDS means drain to source voltage. Drain to source voltage, the current goes on increasing. Why current goes on increasing? More and more number of electrons getting repelled from the VDS, and these electrons are collected from the drain. So drain to source current ID will go on increasing. And this diagram shows what will be the reverse bias potential across the PN junction of an N-channel JFET. These two regions are P, this is N. P, N. This N is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. This P is connected to positive terminal. This is N region, channel N region, but it is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So it is reverse bias. When this region is reverse biased, this is a PN junction, the